Hi there, Scott the IT Guy here and welcome to my channel. Into this video we're gonna deep dive into this 3520 Dell Inspiron. I purchased this laptop with my own money, recommending or reviewing a product on this channel. I'm not making any money, so therefore this is just gonna be my opinion. I purchased this particular laptop for $259. This was one of the Black Friday deal at Dell.com. This laptop normally goes around $300 or $330-ish. This is technically the cheapest laptop you can purchase at Dell.com, which has an Intel-based processor and it has a Windows 11 operating system on it. So I was really curious how bad or how usable this laptop is actually going to be, and some way I was shocked and also was very surprised in some other way. So let's get in. Let's look at the laptop. This laptop called Carbon Black. It's a nice looking laptop. By holding up this laptop, keeping it straight, no issues structurally, doesn't feel cheap, doesn't feel like a sub $300 laptop. Sometimes when I go into the big box store, I like to hold up the laptop with one hand. When you do that with the cheap laptop, sometimes you see literally the laptop bends, the other end of the laptop drips down just from its own weight. I have no issues whatsoever with this particular model. It feels firm and it feels solid. If you open up a laptop a couple times, if you're laughing, you probably watched my previous video when we were reviewing the Dell Latitude 3000 series business class laptop. This is $850. When we were doing this with a brand new laptop, the pop, the frame, the bezel around this screen was just popping in and out of alignment. There was here, I think last week, replaced the whole entire screen with the hinges, and that was supposed to take care of the issues. That's not completely the case, but let's get back to our Dell Inspiron. So first of all, no fancy box. We only have a regular cardboard box. We have just this plastic bag. We have a Dell small cylinder size, this round-shaped charger. It's a 65-watt charger, not a USB-C. We don't have any USB-C ports at all, but what we have is we have 3 USB-A ports, an HDMI, a charging port, we have a card reader, and we have a headphone out, and that's it. When we open up this laptop, the screen looks really nice. It's vivid. The colors are nice. It's a 120 hertz screen and 250 nits. No problem with the screen whatsoever. It's bright enough. It's not as bright as the Vostro or other business model would be, that bright enough to be viewable in a room or an office environment. It's not gonna perform probably well outside. Also, this is a non-glare. There is no reflection when you're looking at the screen. The view angle is great. Absolutely no issues whatsoever. I like the screen as it is. Just to put things in perspective, this was a $259 laptop. So we have a 720, not a full HD, just an HD webcam. We don't have a privacy shutter. There is no way to shut this out. If this would go out to a client environment, I would see probably sticky tapes or post-it notes above the camera. That's how usually employees or users are covering the camera and make sure nobody will turn it on remotely. So if you're looking at the keyboard and a touchpad, things looking nice. We have a Core i3 processor into this laptop, which was a real shocker to me. It performs really, really well. This is a 6-core 8-threaded processor, and it's snappy. It is nice. There is no issue with the actual cooling system. It doesn't get super hot. The performance wise, I was very surprised to see that this particular i3 processor, it's a Gen 12 i3 processor, outperforms a Gen 10 i5 processor easily. I think it's even outperforms a Gen 10 i7 processors in a laptop environment. I have a lot of tests we can get through. We can see Cinebench, we can see 3D Mark. We're gonna see the speed of the solid state drive in this laptop is super good. Takes about 12 to 16 seconds to boot this laptop up. It's fast. snappy. Anywhere you click, it performs really well. No issues whatsoever with the performance. The Wi-Fi card what we have is Gen 6, which is great. We have a 250 solid state in this laptop. We have 8 gigs of RAM, which is upgradable. These features are absolutely great. I will show you a lot of screenshots. We're gonna show you a little bit of footage. So this is a 720p camera, 30 frames per second. I got plenty light here. This is the best case scenario. This 720 is what we get in this price category. This is a $259 laptop, and this camera functional. We have at least something. It's literally, we're just checking a box on a spec sheet that we do have a webcam. So let's talk about things where I was not happy. One of them, the main thing, is the battery. The battery life on this Inspiron is very disappointing, and it looks like just not this particular laptop. Other people are complaining that the battery only lasts 2 hours. Remember the 14-inch Inspiron with a Snapdragon, which was rated for 12 hours, but we were able to get 18 hours of runtime from that laptop. This laptop, in a working environment, when I pull the screen down to 70%, the brightness goes down to 70%, and I watch one YouTube video in one window, I was able to get out 2.5 hours to 3 hours of runtime. The processor was not really moving. There was not heavy math or gaming involved, none of that, but I could only get 2.5-3 hours out of this laptop. If I turn a battery saver on, which cuts everything down to the almost to the lowest point, I was able to get 5 hours out of this laptop. This laptop is not really mobile. If you ended up buying, because this is technically the cheapest laptop, and you plug it in and use it plugged in your home environment or office environment or desk, this laptop performs really well, but has to be plugged in the charger all the time. It doesn't give you a lot of portability and just being used without the charger. So that's one problem. My main problem, however, is not the battery. My main problem is the construction of this laptop. But Scott, you just said the build quality is great. Yes, it is. And this laptop is not overheating, or not, the fan is not screaming. It's actually nice. It's surprisingly good. However, let's look at this laptop together. I am not an engineer. I am not a designer. I'm sure Dell has an army of engineers. They probably did a computer simulation. I'm sure they had prototypes. There's just one thing I can't wrap my head around, and that is the cooling, the actual cooling, how the hot air escapes. If you're looking at the bottom, there is only one opening where a cold air gets into the laptop. There is no other opening on a side. There is no opening in here, which you could see. However, you see this curved edge? Normally, we would have a little slotted area in here when the hot air escapes. Sometimes they put it on a side. If you are left-handed, you are not in luck, because you usually put it on a left-hand side, hoping that your hand not going to film the warm air coming out, because most of us are right-handed. But usually they put it in here, or even the other side of the laptop, somewhere else from the cold air intake place. So when you put this laptop down and when you open a lid, see this curved edge in here? So that with a rubber feet, it has 2 rubber feet. So what happens is, when you open this laptop, this curved part curves under the laptop and raises the laptop up. So 1, it's going to make the typing experience better. 2, it's making sure that we have some gap so the cold air can come in. But where is the hot air is going to? Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show you. Probably I will have to include a screenshot. Look at the laptop. It's right here. So, and we have an enclosed area because of this curving. So there is no way the hot air to go anywhere else, but it's hitting the bottom of the LCD screen right here. And that's the hottest point of the laptop. So how hot is actually this is getting into? I haven't had a professional grade thermometer. I just had a regular thermometer, which you can use in a household, but that is only measuring until 113 Fahrenheit. And after that, it shows you nothing. So I ended up going to the store. I got the Klein tool laser thermometer. And if you're using a metric system, the bottom of the screen is 53 Celsius. In Fahrenheit, this would be around 123, but sometimes it even goes a little higher to all the way up to 127. Now, is this a problem? That LCD, that the part of the LCD screen, to me who's been doing IT for 20 years but not an actual engineer, in here, in this area, this is 127 or 50, 53 Celsius. It's hot. I don't see any problem on a Dell site when people are leaving comments or on one-star reviews that the screen failed or a screen had any issues. That just feels really like odd to me. I'm sure Dell figured this out and took measurements and made sure that maybe this LCD screen is really heat proof, and just having a hot air constantly blowing on this particular part of the LCD screen is not an issue. Maybe it's just an issue for me who's not really an expert on cooling or designing a laptop. So this is my only concern. I'm not sure how well the LCD screen is able to take this heat. If you own this particular laptop, or you have maybe a previous generation with the same type of heating, please leave a comment in a comment section and let me know how well the screen is holding up. Other than that, there is no complaints. I actually cannot believe that Dell put a computer in a box and ship it out with a 2-day free shipping for $259. I mean, this thing is nice. I'm a member of a lot of different sites, and when it comes down to budget, if you're asking people's opinion on budget computers, they usually tell you that these are crap, these are unusable, the plastic on these laptops are just so cheap, this laptop will be powderized in 2 days, it will snap and crack, the hinges will break out, and this is nothing but trouble. Plus, the heating and cooling is also so low due to the low budget that this thing will overheat and gonna be slow as anything. Well, let me tell you something. I'm using a 5-year-old HP EliteBook, which was, I think, $1,400, and it has a Generation 8 i5 processor in it. I also have a Dell Latitude Business Class from 2020. If you're looking at these laptops as used, you see them, they are between $150 and $300. This laptop outperforms all of those in every single segment. The Wi-Fi is better, the processor is better, the graphics card, which is integrated in the CPU, is better, the solid state significantly faster. Let me show you some graph how much faster this i3 processor equipped 259 laptop is compared to these older business class models. Not only that, but the build quality, again, it's good. I don't see any problem with this lasting for a few years. As a matter of fact, I have a 7-year-old Dell Inspiron, which has also purchased for $300 back in a day, and it has an IT processor, and that thing is still up and running and has no issues whatsoever. I also purchased a Dell Inspiron with an i5 processor 3 years ago, and that laptop is technically works as brand new. During the pandemic, that was going 8 hours a day, every single day, no issues whatsoever. If you're still here, let me tell you a very quick story about one of my clients who was a medical office, and during COVID, they had no revenue, but they still needed new laptops. So the doctor was telling me the process is we're going to have the laptop moving between patients. There are different desks. The patient can have a seat. We're going to come there. The employee going to open up a laptop, going to remote into the server, look at the medical software, print stuff out, check prescription, whatnot, and then shut the lid down and gonna move to another client. So I said, like, yeah, this is definitely, and the laptop battery has to last, the Wi-Fi has to be good. So I said, like, yeah, what you're describing me is a $1,000 business class Latitude, probably from the 5000 series. He said, I'm sorry, Scott, I don't have $1,000 for 3 brand new laptops. That would be $3,000. What if I buy 3 of the cheapest Inspiron I can get for $300? I said, I'm sorry, but you are crazy. They're not gonna last. You're gonna have all sorts of issues. I don't think the battery gonna be that great. And I was wrong. I was wrong. This was almost 3 years ago. None of them had any issues. That $300 laptop in a business environment, when they have to go all day from patient to patient, open up a laptop, remoting into the server, doing the typing through the Wi-Fi, shutting it down, were great. The battery on those last through almost all day still. Not sure what's up with this particular battery. It's a 41-watt battery. It's very disappointing that it only lasts 2.5 to 5 hours. Those are with those Inspirons from 2020. If you pull down the brightness and cut back on a speed, because they are way faster than what they need, they last through the whole entire day without any charging or any problems. This particular laptop, the 15-inch Inspiron, also has an AMD version, when Dell is actually specifying that the battery lasts on that AMD version for about 9 hours. I totally believe that it's capable. However, there are some drawbacks with the AMD. One of them would be the Wi-Fi is Gen 5. We have a Gen 6 in here, and I think this particular laptop performs a little bit better. So I thought maybe if somebody want to do really lightweight gaming, this computer would be a teeny tiny bit better than the AMD. But with a cooling, the hot air being blown to the screen, I am pretty concerned about how long these laptops are going to last. Please let me know in your thoughts, if you have any, on this particular issue or on this particular laptop in a comment section. If you go to Dell.com and looking at the reviews from users, I think it's 4.4, 4.3, something like that. It's high. If there's going to be a problem, in a mass problem with the screen is unable to take that heat, there would be a flood of people complaining about it, and I don't see that. So maybe this is only me being just not seeing the big picture in here. So anyway, if you like this video, you found it helpful or useful in any way, just let me know in the comment section. Scott's out.